General Motors has just explained pretty much its entire electric vehicle strategy. It says it plans to have something for everyone. Here is their electric vehicle plan. Hello, my friends, and welcome to the channel. I'm the Electric Viking. Great to see you. My name is Sam Evans, coming to you from Melbourne, Australia, and we've just hit the 1,000 video mark. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thanks for subscribing. It wouldn't have been possible without all of you, and I really appreciate you guys tuning in, being part of this movement, the movement towards having a better planet, sustainable energy, greener future. And fortunately, I've got an EV sitting out on the grass here, and another one coming pretty soon. Exciting times. EV prices are going to keep on coming down, and if General Motors has anything to do with it, they'll be absolute bargains. Now, to be fair, yes, I on this channel have criticized Mary Barra and General Motors on a number of occasions over the past 12 months, but the truth is they do have a cheap EV available right now. The Bolt EV, the Bolt EUV, is probably America's most affordable electric car, or best value electric car. Sure, there's different perceptions on value, but you've got to admit it is good value. So who knows, maybe GM will follow through with their promise to sell the Equinox electric SUV, which is a pretty big car for the price at $30,000 US. Maybe they will follow through with that car and actually deliver them at $30,000 US. You never know. The main thing Mary Barra is trying to convince us of is this. GM is committing to an all-electric future, and they're gearing up to introduce many new EVs. Mary Barra, GM CEO, said at Goldman Sachs Tech Conference, "We want to provide EVs for everyone." They explained that their strategy to get there, its Ultium platform, will scale production for the company. Now, I want to make a point here because it hasn't been made by the media. GM is not being fairly judged. The media, for some reason, have given them a big free pass. They did say back in 2017 that by October of this year, they would have 18 different electric vehicle models available for sale. They have 3. So they've missed the mark by a long way. Now, to be fair, if Elon Musk had promised 18 different models by 2022, October, the media would have taken him to task. They would have eviscerated him, said he lied, said all manner of things. So I think it's fair that at least somebody reports on what GM says they're going to do and then what they actually do. Do I believe GM will follow through with this plan I'm about to share with you? I do. Will it be in the time frame they're sharing with you? Absolutely not. Their time frame it's the work of Disney fiction. It's the work of true fantasy. Saying they're going to go from building 7,000 EVs per quarter, which is what they're doing right now. That's the current run rate, 7,000 per quarter, to 250,000 per quarter within the space of 2 years, to ramp from 7,000 per quarter to 250,000 per quarter. I cannot sit here with a straight face and possibly tell you that that is within the realms of remote feasibility. It's not. But will they produce 1 million EVs per year, maybe in 2027? Yeah, absolutely. That is entirely logical and entirely possible. Will they produce millions of EVs? As long as they don't go bankrupt, I believe they will. Now, although GM's sales of the Bolt did reach some kind of momentum, eventually they sold a record 3,620 of them in June of 2021, which is quite a good result. GM actually recalled the Bolt and the Bolt EUV thanks to a series of battery fires because GM made the brilliant strategic decision to rely on only one battery partner, which it continues to do now, which is an historic mistake of epic proportions. Ford has already learned their lesson. Tesla, I think, has learned their lesson well and truly on that as well. So hopefully GM changes their mind on that because they have one very, very clear strategy. It is good and it's bad. Ultium batteries, battery production in the US, excellent, but only battery production with one battery manufacturer, LG Chem, manufacturing only one type of battery is a dangerous strategy. Now, as you know, Mary Barra went as far as to say that GM will catch and surpass Tesla in 2025. And GM's CFO, Paul Jacobson, said in August that the company is hitting an inflection point with scaling EV production. The automaker has released or plans to release several EVs. The GMC Hummer EV, of course, they have them now, but very, very small production numbers. The Cadillac Lyriq, the Chevy Bolt EUV, a new version, will come out. A Chevy Blazer EV, the Chevy Silverado EV, and of course, the Chevy Equinox EV, which is really their most important car. That will be their mass selling car. That's the car that the population, the masses want. an affordable electric mid-sized SUV. Now, GM summed up their strategy. They said, the way we define Ultium is it can go all the way from a small compact vehicle like the Chevrolet Equinox EV that we revealed to the world last week. I've got to say, it's a good looking EV. I made a video on that. I'll put a link in the description below to that video. All the way up to a super truck like the Hummer EV and beyond with BrightDrop, our commercial electric commercial vehicle. So we're never constrained as to what we want to create off of the Ultium platform. I understand that idea. GM thinks that they had the strategy of like one product to suit everything, and they can adapt that one product to make it work for everything, meaning that the cost of that one product should come down. But can it come down enough to compete with its competition? What's its competition? Well, it's lithium iron phosphate batteries coming from China. And they will continue to come from China. But remember, there's American companies ramping up production of advanced next generation lithium iron phosphate batteries, which will be cheaper to manufacture and last longer than GM's Ultium batteries. That's going to be stiff competition as well. Electric says that GM's work on its Ultium platform is starting to pay dividends as several models on the market utilize the technology. Furthermore, foreign automakers such as Honda are partnering with GM to realize their own series of EVs. Basically, GM's going to manufacture Honda's EVs for them in the United States because they're not in a position to make them themselves. GM has an ambitious goal, of course, like I said before, to sell 1 million EVs in the US in 2025, which it expects it will generate $50 billion in revenue from annually. GM, however, claim that they understand the hurdles it will take to get there, citing supply chain issues and raw material shortages that have held them back so far. To overcome this, GM is in the midst of building 4 battery cell plants in the US with the help of LG Energy, its battery partner. The first one in Ohio is in its startup stages. Another is expected in 2023, one in 2024 as well, and the fourth, well, that one has not yet been announced. Now, I'll put a link in the description below to the video I made recently within the last month on the Ohio battery factory and what GM plans on doing there at that plant, which actually has just opened. Mary Barra said, "This has been our strategy because we believe it was the right thing to do from a long-term perspective to control our own destiny before the president signed IRA into law." Basically, Mary Barra is saying what the Republicans just said today, it's wrong. Republicans are saying that the government is forcing us to build EVs. We chose to do that before the government was even in power. That's true. They did. GM did have a plan to build, well, millions of EVs years ago. So no, Joe Biden didn't force them to do that. In fact, he played very little part in their decision because it was made before he even came into power. Yeah, sure, he might have accelerated their plans a little bit, but that was all. So GM plans on building affordable EVs. Affordable Silverado pickup truck is their main bread and butter, of course. That's their number one seller. And an affordable Equinox EV. I believe GM's strategy is to build all these different EVs, of course. They have a plan to build 30 different models, but their main strategy will be to build en masse the Silverado EV and the Equinox EV. And clearly GM has also claimed that they now have enough battery mineral supply to build all the batteries they need in order to actually fulfill their strategy over the next 5 years. Is that true? Maybe, possibly. Will GM still exist in 2030? I think they will now because they've changed their mind. You know it. It's true. They've changed their mind within the last 12 months. They won't go out and admit to it, but they have. They've admitted that electric cars are unquestionably the future, whereas car companies like Toyota have not done so. So the truth is, if a car company will go bankrupt, it is the company that is going to do what? Well, number one, Toyota is heavily indebted. They have way more debt than General Motors do, and they don't plan on being a fully electrified company. GM do. Will GM actually achieve their 2025 plans? No, that's just ridiculous. Whoever thinks that's going to happen, and there are a lot of you that do. I've seen your comments. You're mad. It's not even remotely feasible. But will they achieve them in 2026? Possibly. 2027? Probably. Is this good for Americans? Absolutely, this is good for Americans. Is this good for getting affordable EVs within the next 5 years and having more competition in the market? Definitely. Do I like GM's plans? Yes. Will they deliver on them? Well, in a slow kind of thereabouts way, they'll get there eventually. At least that's what I think. Let me know in the comment section below what you think. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.